They call it the safest country on earth, the cleanest, the most polite, Japan, where trains arrive on time, crime barely exists, everyone follows the rules. Perfect. Except, it has the highest suicide rate in the developed world. People work themselves to death. They have a word for it. Karoshi, death by overwork. Millions live alone, never marry, never have children. The population is collapsing, and nobody talks about it. Because in Japan, you don't complain, you suffer in silence. So how did the perfect country become a perfect prison? Tokyo. Gleaming skyscrapers, bullet trains, streets so clean you could eat off them. No trash, no crime. You can leave your phone on a table, walk alone at night. Paradise, right? Look closer. The salaryman on the train, asleep standing up, worked 16 hours. Again. The student studying until 2 a.m. every night. Since age 12. The woman who hasn't left her apartment in 3 years. Because she failed once. And in Japan, failure is permanent. This is the other side, where perfection isn't a goal, it's a cage, and it's killing people. After World War II, Japan was destroyed. Cities flattened, economy ruined. They had nothing, so they rebuilt. With one strategy, work, total dedication, the company becomes your family, your life. Arrive early, leave late, never complain, never quit. And it worked. Japan's economy exploded. They became the second richest country on earth. Sony, Toyota, Nintendo, the miracle economy built on sacrifice. But here's what they didn't see coming. The sacrifice never stopped. The war ended. The economy boomed. But the culture of total obedience remained. And it mutated into something darker. You're born in Japan. Age 3, you're in cram school, juku. Extra classes after regular school. Every day, testing, competing. Because your entire future depends on one thing. University entrance exams. One test, one day, determines everything. Which university, which company, which life. Fail, and you're done. No second chances, so you study. 12-hour days for years. No childhood, just preparation. And most kids, they fail anyway. Because there aren't enough spots. So what happens to them? They disappear. Over 1 million people, mostly young men, lock themselves in their rooms for years, sometimes decades, never leaving. They call them Hikikomori, too ashamed to face society, because they failed the test. But let's say you pass. Get into a good university, get hired by a big company. Now you're safe, right? Wrong. Now the real prison begins. You're a salaryman. Arrive at 7 a.m., leave at 11 p.m. every day. Not because there's work, because leaving before your boss is disrespectful. So you sit there, pretending to work, waiting. You get 2 weeks vacation. But you can't take it, because that would burden your colleagues, show disloyalty. So you don't. Nobody does. The company transfers you to another city, you go. Leave your family behind. See them twice a year, because the company comes first, always. And if you burn out, collapse, you're just weak, a failure. So people keep going, until their bodies give out. Karoshi, death by overwork. Heart attacks at 35, strokes at 40. The government officially recognizes it, hundreds of cases every year. But those are just the ones they admit. The real number, nobody knows, because families are ashamed, companies cover it up, but work isn't the only prison. There's something deeper. Wa. Harmony. The most important concept in Japanese culture. The group matters more than the individual. Don't stand out, don't disagree, don't cause trouble, conform. Always. Sounds nice, right? Except it means you can never be yourself. Never express what you really think. Never challenge anything, because that would disturb the way. So you smile, agree, obey. Even when you're dying inside, everyone around you doing the same thing, pretending, hiding. They call it tatamai, your public face, different from Han, your true feelings, which you never show to anyone. ever. So you're alone, even in a crowd, especially in a crowd. And that loneliness is killing people. There's a forest, Aokigahara, at the base of Mount Fuji, where people go to die, hundreds every year. They walk in, never come out. The government posts signs, quote 0, quote 1. But people keep coming because they see no other way out. And society doesn't ask why. They just clean up, move on. Don't talk about it, because talking about problems disturbs the way. So the problems never get solved. They accumulate. And now Japan is facing something worse, demographic collapse. The population is shrinking fast. Birth rate is 1.3 children per woman. You need 2.1 to maintain population. Japan is losing 500,000 people a year. In 50 years, the population drops by 30%. Why? Because people aren't having children, aren't even getting married. Over 40% of young adults are single, plan to stay that way, not because they don't want relationships, because they can't afford them. You can't date working 80 hours a week, can't raise children if you're never home, can't build a family if you barely survive. So people give up, choose loneliness, because it's easier than failing at one more thing. The government panics, offers incentives, cash for babies, subsidized childcare. Doesn't work, because money isn't the problem. The culture is the problem. You can't have a family in a system designed to consume you. But Japan won't change the system, because the system is Japan. So what do? Ignore it. Pretend it's not happening. Keep working. Keep obeying. Keep pretending everything is fine, while the country slowly dies. But here's where it gets strange. Japan knows this is happening. Everyone knows. The government, the companies, the people. They see the suicide rates, the loneliness epidemic, the demographic collapse, and they do nothing. Why? Because fixing it would require breaking the rules, challenging authority, admitting the system is broken. And in Japan, you can't do that. The nail that sticks out gets hammered down, so everyone stays silent, suffering together in perfect harmony. That's the dark side of perfection. The culture makes solving problems impossible, because solving problems requires change. And change requires someone to speak up, to break the wave, to risk shame, and nobody will. So the cycle continues. Work until you break. Conform until you disappear. Obey until you die, and call it honor. But something is shifting. The younger generation. They're questioning, quietly. They see their parents' generation, worked their whole lives, sacrificed everything. For what? A pension that barely covers rent, a society that discarded them at 60, a life they never got to live. And young people are saying no, not loudly, but in small ways, choosing part-time work over corporate jobs, staying single, opting out. They call them herbivore men, young men who refuse to compete, refuse to chase success, refuse to play the game. Society hates them for it, calls them weak, lazy, failures. But maybe they're the only ones who figured it out, that the game is rigged, and the only way to win is not to play. So where does this end? Japan is at a crossroads. Option 1, change. Open immigration, reform work culture, allow people to be human. But that means admitting the system failed, losing face, breaking tradition. Japan won't do that. Option 2, continue. Keep the system, maintain the order. Let the population shrink until there's nobody left, and that's the path they're on. Because in Japan, tradition matters more than survival. Order matters more than happiness. Perfection matters more than people. So the country will stay clean, stay safe, stay polite, while it slowly disappears. That's the price of perfection. Not chaos, not crime, extinction. Because a society that can't adapt can't survive. And Japan won't adapt, can't adapt. The culture won't allow it. So they'll keep working, keep obeying, keep suffering in silence until the last train runs on time, to an empty station, in a perfect country, with nobody left. That's the dark side of Japan. Not that it's broken, but that it's too perfect to fix. The rules are too strong, the shame too deep, the system too rigid. Everyone knows it, but nobody will say it, because saying it would break the harmony, and harmony is all they have left. So they choose silence over survival, order over life, perfection over existence, and the world watches, admiring the trains, the cleanliness, the politeness, never seeing the cost, the millions suffering alone, the young people giving up, the country dying in silence. Because Japan taught the world something. You can have perfect order, or you can have life, but you can't have both. And Japan chose order. Now it's paying the price. In empty schools, abandoned towns, silent forests, where people go to escape. The perfect prison. That's the real Japan. Not the postcards, not the anime, not the technology, the loneliness, the pressure, the silence. And it's not getting better, it's getting worse. Because the system that built Japan is now destroying it. And nobody can stop it, because stopping it would require breaking the rules. And in Japan, the rules are everything, even when they're killing you, especially when they're killing you. That's the lesson. Perfection is a trap, order is a cage, and harmony can be the cruelest prison of all. Japan proved it, and now it's too late to change. The perfect country, dying perfectly, in complete silence.